Well, concerns of a possible political crisis in the UK are flaring up as the opposition pushes back on a weeks-long suspension of Parliament. One America's Kristian Rouz has more on the heightened tensions.
There'll be no parliamentary debate. We just had 3.5 years of parliamentary debate. It's been endless parliamentary debate. What the hell are these people talking about?
The British public and top MPs are divided over the recent decision by Prime Minister Boris Johnson to suspend Parliament for 5 weeks, just ahead of the Brexit deadline. The Labour opposition expressed outrage following the announcement Wednesday, saying the move may prevent them from blocking no-deal Brexit and thus erode British democracy. Meanwhile, mixed reactions from Conservatives, as some appear to agree with the Labour.
Well, it's profoundly undemocratic. At a time of national crisis, Parliament must be able to meet.
Others say Johnson's decision is nothing special and comes as part of routine political cycle.
So they wouldn't know what they were talking about. It's normal functioning of our constitution.
Indeed, British Parliament gets suspended every year from mid-September for about a month, ahead of the Queen's address, allowing Her Majesty's Cabinet to lay out its legislative agenda going forward. Observers say what Johnson did may be a brilliant tactical manoeuvre. He asked the Queen to suspend Parliament from September the 9th or the 12th until October the 14th, which technically is just a few days longer than a normal annual suspension. The problem with the Remainers, Johnson's announcement came just one day after Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn launched his bid to derail Brexit.
Yes, we will do everything to stop a no-deal Brexit. I am the leader of the opposition, the leader of the Labour Party.
Now, some experts say Johnson's move may be a bit too extreme amid the highly polarised political climate and a major decision, Brexit, up ahead. But the Prime Minister didn't appear to have any other options. The EU has so far refused to renegotiate the deal that the UK has refused to accept as is, while the opposition in Parliament vows to block a no-deal Brexit, leaving Johnson with just two options: force a no-deal Brexit while hoping the EU comes to their senses, or abort Brexit and resign. And Boris appears to have chosen the former.
I think this is probably the biggest constitutional crisis in Britain since Edward VIII abdicated in the 1930s, and there was a question about the future of the monarchy at that point.
Queen Elizabeth has already approved the Prime Minister's request, suggesting the British monarchy is siding with the 52% of voters who voted Leave back in 2016.
There's lots of talks about coups, but government side will accuse Parliament of trying to orchestrate one to stop them getting Brexit through. I don't think that helps. The government, in theory, control a lot of the agenda of Parliament. They control things like this when Parliament sits.
And while Corbyn is making half-hearted promises to call a no-confidence motion, many believe a political crisis could hit Britain in the last 2 weeks of October, making an emergency plan to put the military on the streets of London, and known as Operation Yellowhammer, quite likely. Kristian, Rouz, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.